1. When designing a curriculum for internal medicine in-training exam ITE preparation, which principle of adult learning is most critical to ensure residents remain motivated throughout the program? A. Providing information in a passive lecture format. B. Align and study content with immediate clinical relevance. C. Using standardized patient vignettes exclusively. D. Minimizing opportunities for peer discussion. 2. A resident struggles with time management during the ITE practice test. Which evaluation method best identifies whether the issue is related to knowledge gaps versus test-taking skills? A. Retrospective self-assessment after the exam. B. Item analysis with performance by content area and timing review. C. Peer feedback sessions without score breakdowns. D. Using only global percentile ranking. 3. In teaching diagnostic reasoning for ITE, a faculty member encourages residents to generate multiple differential diagnoses before choosing the most likely. This reflects which adult learning principle? A. Repetition without reflection. B. Active engagement in problem solving. C. Memorization of textbook lists. D. Rote recall through drills. 4. A program director wants to assess the effectiveness of a new ITE preparatory course. Which approach represents the highest level of Kirkpatrick's model of evaluation? A. Residents' satisfaction surveys. B. Pre- and post-test score comparisons. C. Observed changes in clinical performance during rotations. D. Attendance logs from review sessions. 5. A mentor uses the ITE results to guide a struggling resident. Which mentoring technique best promotes long-term growth? A. Correcting mistakes without resident input. B. Encouraging self-reflection followed by a tailored learning plan. C. Requiring residents to memorize answer keys. D. Assigning generic reading lists regardless of weaknesses. 6. In curriculum development for ITE prep, a needs assessment should primarily focus on A. Resident learning gaps and exam blueprint requirements. B. Availability of lecture halls and audiovisual equipment. C. Personal interests of faculty instructors. D. Institutional budget allocation alone. 7. A resident asks why the ITE includes complex patient management questions instead of simple fact recall. What is the best faculty response? The test wants to confuse you intentionally. B. It evaluates your clinical judgment in line with real-world practice. C. It ensures you memorize every guideline exactly. D. It discourages teamwork and collaboration. 8. When reviewing ITE results, a program director notes persistent low performance in nephrology. Which evaluation step should come first? A. Immediate disciplinary action. B. Reviewing whether the curriculum adequately covered nephrology topics. C. Assigning unrelated reading materials. D. Ignoring the issue until the next test. 9. A resident demonstrates strong ITE scores but struggles to communicate findings during bedside teaching. How should the faculty mentor address this? A. Reassure the resident that test scores matter more than communication. B. Provide structured feedback and practice sessions to improve clarity. C. Focus solely on medical knowledge and ignore communication skills. D. Remove the resident from teaching opportunities. 10. A program integrates ITE-style MCQs into weekly conferences. Which adult learning principle does this best support? A. Immediate application of knowledge. B. Passive listening. C. Linear memorization of facts. D. Reducing learner autonomy. 11. A resident misinterprets an ITE cardiology vignette due to poor comprehension of clinical terminology. Which educational strategy is most effective? A. Provide a glossary and encourage contextual learning exercises. B. Reduce exposure to technical terms in teaching. C. Ignore terminology and focus only on lab values. D. Use only multiple-choice drills without discussion. 12. When aligning ITE preparation with regulatory compliance, program leadership must ensure A. Exam prep aligns with ACGME and ABIM core competencies. B. Residents design their own exam blueprint. C. Only the highest-scoring residents receive structured support. D. Test-taking strategies are prioritized over clinical competencies. 13. A faculty member creates simulated ITE exams and gives residents feedback on incorrect answers. Which evaluation principle is being applied? A. Summative evaluation without remediation. B. Formative evaluation to guide learning progress. C. Self-directed learning without assessment. D. Peer evaluation only. 14. A resident receives feedback highlighting persistent weaknesses in endocrinology. Which mentoring approach best supports improvement? A. Encourage reflection and co-create an action plan for targeted study. B. Assign the resident additional unrelated topics. C. Advise the resident to rely on luck in the next exam. D. Withhold feedback to avoid discouragement. 15. Which of the following best characterizes a well-developed ITE preparation curriculum? A. Reactive design based solely on previous exam scores. B. Integration of assessment data, blueprint objectives, and clinical practice. C. Exclusive reliance on textbook chapters. D. Focus on test-taking tricks without clinical reinforcement. 16. Faculty reviewing ITE results identify a trend of poor performance in geriatrics. Which is the most appropriate next step? A. Add structured geriatrics modules aligned with exam and clinical practice. B. Assume residents lack interest in geriatrics and ignore results. C. Focus entirely on subspecialty exams instead. D. Remove geriatrics content from the curriculum. 17. A resident performs poorly on IMETE but excels in clinical evaluations. What does this discrepancy most likely indicate? A. Lack of alignment between assessment methods. B. Superior test-taking skills. C. Flawed clinical evaluation system. D. Equal mastery of both domains. 18. Which method most effectively supports residents who learn best through peer collaboration for ITET prep? A. Case-based group discussions with shared reasoning. B. Silent independent reading assignments only. C. Memorization drills without interaction. D. Elimination of collaborative sessions. 19. In mentoring a resident who fears failing the ITE, which approach best supports resilience? A. Normalize exam anxiety and provide structured coping strategies. B. Avoid discussing weaknesses to reduce stress. C. Suggest ignoring the exam since it is not high stakes. D. Apply punitive measures to enforce studying. 20. Which principle of adult learning justifies using clinical case vignettes in ITE preparation? A. Adults learn best when content is problem-centered and context-driven. B. Adults prefer unrelated, rote memorization. C. Adults learn only through visual aids. D. Adults reject applied learning in professional contexts. 21. A faculty team wants to evaluate whether ITE preparation improved long-term clinical judgment. Which method is most appropriate? A. Monitoring changes in patient care outcomes during residency. B. Collecting immediate post-test satisfaction surveys. C. Reviewing only multiple-choice practice scores. D. Relying exclusively on national percentile rankings. 22. A resident consistently overlooks ethical and regulatory aspects in ITE practice questions. What educational intervention is best? A. Integrate sessions on compliance, ethics, and patient safety. B. Ignore ethics since the test focuses on clinical medicine. C. Assign more random practice MCQs only. D. Reduce exam blueprint coverage. 23. Which communication strategy is most effective for faculty debriefing residents after IMIT? A. Deliver individualized, constructive feedback linked to learning goals. B. Provide only group averages without details. C. Share national statistics but omit personal performance. D. Offer generic encouragement without guidance. 24. A residency program integrates spaced repetition software for IMITE prep. Which adult learning principle does this apply? A. Distributed practice enhances retention. B. Single session cramming ensures mastery. C. Passive lectures improve long-term recall. D. Feedback delays increase accuracy. 25. If a program director wants to balance IMIT prep with wellness initiatives, the most effective strategy is A. Incorporating structured study plans with scheduled breaks and support resources. B. Expecting residents to study during all personal time. C. Removing wellness activities to increase study hours. D. Reducing exam content coverage. 26. Which mentoring technique is most beneficial for residents struggling in multiple IMITE domains? A. Regular one-on-one coaching with progress tracking. B. Ignoring weak areas to focus on strengths. C. Assigning random reading lists without guidance. D. Limiting faculty support to avoid dependency.